Just to refresh these first two verses to get us back in
Right.
the thing. You're familiar with the binyanim,
With my, sorry.
with the binyanim, not binyamin, but binyanim, the buildings, of the word construction. Are you familiar with that when you did your ulpan?
Fairly.
So on
Probably
one hand,
just started speaking Hebrew like everybody else and didn't
right.
really realize what I was doing.
So what we
Doing or
have,
doing.
I'll bring it up and I'll show you that what we have is this kind of fun kind of sorry, Netflix binyanim, not binyamin, but basically like bone.
Yes.
So
Bonnet. Yeah.
bone, binyanim. So a
Right.
binyan is a building. So bone is to build, binyan is a building, and binyanim is buildings. And basically what it is it's word constructions. So
Oh,
what's
we did that. Yes, we
yes.
did that. Yes, we did that.
And it turns out they're super useful. I want to open image in a new tab and then I can show you this a little bit.
Okay.
So what's happening here
Okay.
is, can you see this okay?
Yeah.
The advantage is you can read the Hebrew, which is great. So on one hand, you have, basically what all these are the different intensities of a verb. So every verb has a pa'al, right?
Right.
That's the
Is that the
simple,
root? Is that the root?
that's the root, the shorish, and these are all roots. So
Right.
pa'al is the
Oh, they're all
simple,
roots.
the pa'al
Right.
is the
Okay.
simple active. You see here, kal, simple, active, active, right? And basically
Ah,
that's the most basic version of the verb, right?
right.
But if you want to make it intensive, PL, what you do is you change the vowel. And sometimes that means inserting a yod to show that it's become intensive. So it's the
Right.
difference
Okay.
between eating and devouring, that kind of idea in English, right?
Oh, okay.
Then you have a
Yeah.
hifil. And in a hifil, you add a hey and a yod. And that's how you tell. I'm going to color them purple when it's a hifil. I'm going to color the hey and the yod to show it's active. And
And what
that's the
does that
difference.
mean?
That's the difference between eating and feeding.
I see.
And
Okay.
in English, eat and feed don't have a common
No.
connection. But in Hebrew, you have akal and he'ekil. Akal is to
Yeah.
eat,
Heal. Yeah.
he'ekil is to feed.
Yeah. To
So
feed. Yeah.
these are the active ones. So that's when the focus is on the subject of the sentence, who's doing the verb, right?
Right. Okay.
So to give you an example of something when we focus on the object, who's being done to, the active would be the boy cut down the tree. The
Right.
passive would be the tree was cut down.
Cut down. Yeah.
So when it was you did this or this was done to you,
Done. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's active passive. And in the middle, you have reflexive. And that's
Right. So
when
something was done to you.
when you
Or
do
to,
something to you.
oh, yeah.
So an example is
Myself. That's me.
active would be I gathered apples. The passive would be apples were
Were
gathered.
gathered by
The
me.
reflexive would be the crowd gathered. Because the crowd is gathering the crowd. You see what I mean?
Oh, I see.
So they are
Okay.
themselves. So, or the boy cut down the tree was cut down, the boy cut himself.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So those
Yeah.
are your
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
options. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that means that if either you can tell when there's an extra hay and there's an extra yod, this must be a hifil. Or you can see, oh, there's this the vowel has changed to a chirik, or there's an extra yod, this must be a piel, right? And on the
Yeah.
other side, one of the options is, I'll just move your lovely face over here. In the nifal, you get a
Right.
nun to say, oh, this is a nifal, this is passive, this is the simple passive, right? But if
Okay.
you have a pual, that's the intensive passive. So you take an
Right.
intensive verb, but you focus on who's being done to, right? So
Right.
I'll
Okay.
just introduce this idea now, but now I'll show you it in
Passive.
practice.
Passive. Yeah. Okay.
So in this sentence here, you have vaikulu, right? So there's a few things happening here. First of all, the thing you're most familiar with is kal is all, right?
Good.
But all is not a verb. So what's the verb that gives us the word all? Well, the verb is the verb to complete, right?
Okay.
Because if you're a stamp collector and you complete your collection, you have all the stamps. So
Right.
that's that connection, right?
Okay.
But you'll notice that this is yakul, and that oo is very unusual. So that oo happens, that vowel has changed to an oo because this is a hufal. which is on the passive side. So this is a
Passive.
passive verb. So rather than he completed, it means he was completed, right?
Or it was completed.
Exactly, because in Hebrew there's no difference between he and it. But
Right.
there's also an u at the end of the verb. What is
Is
an
that
u?
they?
Yes,
No.
exactly.
Yes, plural.
They. This is
Yes.
a pluralizing thing. So vaikulu means they were completed, not they completed, right?
Yeah.
So you have the yod to say he or it. The u makes it they. The vav makes it past tense, and the u in kul makes it passive. So vayikulu means they were completed. Now, what was completed? Well, after the verb, you have who's doing the verb, right? Now, they're being done too. So it's, in this case, you have the verb.
Shamayim.
Right. Right. So that's, go on. So now that first line, what does that first line mean? Vayikulu hashemayim b'haaretz.
They were complete. Okay. The skies and the heavens and the earth and
no, just that first line. Just that first line is a phrase.
Okay, so the skies and the earth were completed.
Exactly. That's exactly the phrase. So the beginning of bereishit, the beginning of this 6 days of creation starts with bereishit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created. In the end of this process, it says vayikulu hashamayim v'haaretz. So it's bookended. Exactly. That's the end of that.
They were completed.
Exactly. So that's like Shakespeare. Shakespeare will introduce you a synopsis of the story, then tell you the story in detail, and at the end say, this is what just happened.